Forget about Jeff Bezos and the royal family of Dubai. The richest person to have ever lived is someone you've probably never even heard of. His name is Mansa Musa. This ancient beacon of wealth was lucky enough to inherit a moderately valuable kingdom, but it was his actions, his determination to hoard gold, and his skills of...
My friend, what do you mean inherit a kingdom? There's a meritocracy. He deserves it, sir. Sir, he deserves that kingdom. He worked 7 gorillion times harder than everyone else to hoard all of that gold. You understand? Just like Jeff Bezos.
Trade and expansion, which morphed his kingdom, and in turn himself, into a true symbol of elitism. Following his reign, Mansa Musa left behind a legacy of opulence. Now, nearly a millennium later, others have stuffed their treasure chests, yet no modern man comes close to the former wealth of this long-gone ruler. Let's dive into this ancient kingdom then, shall we? Mansa Musa was often known by an alternate title, Musa I of Mali. Put 2 and 2 together, and his kingdom was, yep, Mali. The great Musa looked over the empire from 1312 to 1337. So about 25 years. In our modern world, Mali is the 8th largest country in Africa, with a population of just under 20 million people. But 700 years ago, it looked unrecognizably different. In the Musa era, Mali was utterly enormous. It spanned across what we know today as Senegal, the Gambia, Guinea, Nigeria, Chad, Mauritania, and Burkina Faso. Oh, and the modern nation of Mali too, of course. This meant that at the time, Mansa Musa's empire was geographically one of the largest in the world. If you had tried to walk from one end to the other, it's reported that you would have been on your feet for an entire year. Told you it was big. The empire itself lasted hundreds of years, from 1235 to 1670. But it was the efforts of Mansa Musa in his short reign that truly etched this centuries-old civilization into the history books. But why exactly is that the case? What separated Mansa Musa's leaders from that of the other rulers which came before and after? Well, even though his time as ruler may have been relatively short, his influence was profound. Musa came to power in 1312 and hit the ground running, quickly laying the groundwork to develop cultural centers. He imported famous architects from all across the Middle East and Africa and paid them to design focal points in what would soon become booming cultural and economical hotspots. For one,
it's so funny when Americans try to say shit like, oh, well, we can't have healthcare here, man. Our country's too big. And it's like, motherfucker, your little baby bitch empire has been around for like 200 years. Okay? And the geographical location that it is over, like that it reigns over, is nothing in comparison to some of these other old-ass empires that have been around for hundreds of years, whether it be the Ottoman Empire or whether it be this. Like, these dudes are like, Americans fucked it up in less than, you know, in barely 200 years, dude. Rule number 1, yeah, speed run, dude.
He expanded the city of Gao, which stands today in Mali. The Gao Mosque was constructed with burnt bricks, a material that had never been used before in the region. This was just one of many examples of Musa's innovations, the Hall of Audience in Niani being another. However, his most famous development was undoubtedly the infamous city of Timbuktu. He commissioned mosques and residential buildings, and most notably, the foundations for what would later transition into the University of Sankora. By the end of Mansa Musa's reign, the university would become fully staffed, showcasing the largest collections of books in all of Africa. These projects, as well as his willingness to facilitate trade and fuel the fire to a functioning economy, allowed Musa to transform the Kingdom of Mali into a cosmopolitan cultural and learning beacon for the Islamic world. At the heart of this world was Timbuktu, which served as one of the most important spiritual and trade centers in northern Africa at the time. Its learning hub, the beautiful Jingarabert Mosque, still stands today. Amazing, isn't it? Despite all of his success and progress, Musa's role as leader wasn't actually planned. The only reason he took the top position was that the previous king, Abu Bakr II, mysteriously disappeared at sea after setting out on a large fleet to explore the Atlantic Ocean. Sure, Mansa Musa built up the cities and powered a civilization, but that's not why he remained so famous. While the Musa name was already familiar to millions of locals thanks to his position as king, one particular event multiplied his fame substantially: his pilgrimage. As a devout Muslim, in the 17th year of his reign, Musa set off on his pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324, passing through cities like Cairo and Medina along the way. He ventured for more than a year, but he wasn't alone. While on horseback himself, he was leading some 60,000 men on foot, all inspired by Musa's dedication, power, and wealth. 12,000 of those men were carrying 4-pound bars of solid gold, while wielding golden staffs and dressed in high-quality silks and brocades. On top of that, some 80 camels were lugging heavy bags full to the brim with gold dust, some weighing as much as 300 pounds. Just to put that into perspective, based on the resource's value today, each camel would have been holding the equivalent of $9 million worth. Crazy, right? While they journeyed, Musa recruited teachers and leaders in the hope of spreading the learnings of his faith. However, that's not all he was up to. He also gave out gold freely along the way, and he didn't hold back with his generosity. It's said that specifically because of Musa's freewheeling nature to hand out gold, his massive spending and selfless donations
caused hyperinflation in every place that he visited.
Sparked a massive decade-long gold recession. Realizing that he'd made a mistake by giving so much away, upon his return to Mali, he borrowed it all back and as a result, directly controlled the price of gold in the Mediterranean region. Well, allegedly. Okay, so we know that Musa was hoarding all the gold he could find, but how did he find himself in a position to acquire such enormous wealth in the first place? The majority of his riches spurred from an activity that's continued to bring stacks of cash to plenty of people to this day. Take a guess. Yep, mining. The Mali kingdom was booming with significant salt and gold deposits. And who reaped the rewards of those resources? Musa, of course. Not only did he trade and spend the gold, but in true elite fashion, he even wore it. Besides the mining revenue back then, the sale of elephant ivory was also a major source of income for him. How much exactly are we talking? Well, we don't have an exact dollar figure, however historians have come to a rather narrowed conclusion, and it's a lot of money. Ready for this? Boasting a caravan of gold-carrying camels and undisputed power, Mansa Musa's net worth has been valued by modern-day scholars to be up to $415 billion. Yes, billion with a B, nearly $500 billion. That's more than the
irony here is, and someone just pointed out in the chat too, is that Muslim men are not allowed to wear gold. Like, it's supposed to be, you can wear silver, but not gold. So, drip over Allah, I guess.
Entire GDP of Singapore, Norway, South Africa, and Hong Kong. That insane number propels the historic Sultan into the upper echelon of history's richest men. He surpasses infamous American icons of wealth like John Rockefeller, $400 billion, and Andrew Carnegie, $372 billion, and makes some of the richest names in Hollywood appear broke. Dwayne Johnson's net worth is only a teeny tiny 0.07% of Mansa Musa's. Clearly, they're not even in the same league. But other royals are. How does Mansa Musa compare to the 21st century royalty? Over in England, Queen Elizabeth is worth an estimated $530 million. Imagine all that cash in a vault.
Damn, the queen is so fucking broke, dude. What the fuck? Bro, this is sad, dude. Yo, someone give the queen some more money, brother. What the fuck is this? Yo, she's a broke boy, dude. I'm about to go up into the fucking... Had to go to the fucking royal palace and be like, smells like broken here, dude. What the fuck? Yo, you need to borrow some money?
Vault. Now multiply that vault by 783, and you'll get an insight into Musa's massive wealth. It's incomprehensible. What about in the Middle East? Over in Dubai, the richest family member by far is Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Despite being an ultimate symbol of affluence with a bank balance of $18 billion, the UAE vice president and prime minister is still worth a mere 4% of the former ruler of Mali. But let's forget about the royals for a moment. Does anyone, royal or otherwise, even come close to Musa? As of 2020, 3 of the richest people on the entire planet are empires in their own field. Jeff Bezos, the richest man alive, is worth $184 billion. Not too far.
Dude, just remember, like, Like, we're talking about the richest person in history who had an entire empire and had slaves and everything. And that level of wealth accumulation, we've gotten back to it in 400 years. It took us basically 400 years to get back to that level of wealth disparity. It's no different. Like, what we are watching is no different. I think the comparison between royal families and billionaires is a perfect one because it shows you that it's not the monarchs that you have to fear nowadays. It's not the monarchs that have the wealth and power accumulation. It's the motherfucking billionaires, dude. The real, like, tech billionaires. They have that same level. Wait, didn't he say 1600? Did I fucking make that? Did I get that wrong? 700 years? Oh, it was 1300? I thought, oh no, I was thinking of the end of the empire. My bad. Sorry. No, he was around in the 1300s. Apologies. Yeah, I was thinking of the Mali Kingdom, like the end of Mali Kingdom, rather than when Mansa Musa lived. How much does the Vatican have? Surely it's more than the Queen? Probably. Every 100 years, we have like a great reset, dude. Every 100 years, you get the Carnegies and whatnot, and then income inequality gets to such an unmanageable position that like you gotta fucking break it down and then rebuild it a little bit with like modest welfare state reforms. And we're at the precipice of that. We're at the precipice of that right now.
Far away is Bill Gates with 119 billion. Then there's the infamous Elon Musk, who with Tesla under his wing is now worth 92 billion. 184 plus 119 plus 92 is 395. Wow, so there you have it. Even if we combine the entire wealth of 3 of the wealthiest people on the face of the earth, their amalgamated pile of cash still doesn't stack up to that of the former ruler of Mali. Despite passing away not too long after returning from his pilgrimage, Mansa Musa's legacy lived on for centuries. His administrative talents to create a network of trade, innovate with architecture, and embrace education paved the way for the civilization to prosper. Of course, nothing will be remembered as much as his reputation for being a man of incomprehensible wealth, a man who'd throw around gold like it was nothing more than sand. Do you think anyone will ever be worth more? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to The Richest, and have a great day. Catch you next time.